Hey, hold on. Hold. Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry. Put in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. What you doing, Terry?
Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer Rob.
Sooner Terry.
And we are coming at you from the new and undecorated Podcast Palace in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left.
Tery, I don't know how I can be in this room with no decorations on the wall.
And no TV.
No TV. I mean, I can't watch beach volleyball. I mean, football. What are you thinking?
I know. Hey, sorry, folks. We have not been out on the air lately. I have been in the middle of a move.
Actually, we both just bought houses. And we've both been moving, so.
Because we are gluttons for punishment.
Right.
So,
not doing that again. Or at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, not anytime soon. So, but let's get stuff out of the way. First off, make sure and go get your Unhitch the Wagon t-shirts at www.unhitchthewagons.com. We got a sale going on for the pocket t-shirt, Unhitch the Wagon. We put some posts out on Twitter and everything. If you put in the discount code, what is it, Rob?
It's
Natty.
That's where I was going.
Natty. Discount code Natty. You'll get $5 off the pocket. Hey, it's a great shirt to wear around. Great shirt to work on.
But you do get the pocket, right?
Yeah, you get the pocket.
You get the pocket. You just get $5 off of the pocket.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and you get to put stuff in the pocket if you want to.
Yeah,
so,
you can put like a cell phone in there.
Right.
If you're not always staring at it.
Chicks digits.
Yep.
So, but you can also get the official Unhitch the Wagon t-shirt, the cool one, the big lettering, which, guys, you also need to know that the only place to get these, don't try to order them from somewhere else. They are not licensed from anywhere else. They are licensed by the University of Oklahoma, and they are on unhitchthewagon.com.
Wore mine to the tailgate Saturday.
Yes, you did.
I did.
And don't you have a tailgate like a champion?
I do.
Okay, you need to start wearing that because, we are at a tailgate.
Right. I'll have to. It's like 3 sizes too big for me now, Terry. So I can, put some tit steaks up under it or something. But I'll see if I can dig that out.
So anyway, what other things do we have? Oh yeah, make sure and our intro music is. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to find that disc to play, is Fever Tree, the band from Nashville, big Sooner fans. Make sure and download their album on Spotify.
Ooh, got it.
iTunes. It's available anywhere you listen to music. Fever Tree, Lessons Learned. They are coming out with a new album soon. Should be out pretty quickly. Also, make sure... game days to come by this Saturday to Tailgate Like a Champion. On the very corner, we have moved up in the
literally on the corner
in the tailgate rankings.
Yep.
To on the corner of Jenkins and Brooks, we have a 55-inch TV, music.
Plus me and you.
Yeah, plus me and you. Bring your own drinks. Bring a seat if you want. If you just want to come and visit and hang out. David has started a bar, so he has. Is that
a cash bar, Terry?
It's a cash bar. If you have cash and want to drop it in the in the till for him, it is free, but you're expected to put a tip in. You know what I mean? Just the tip. But
all right.
But I don't know. I'm not a liquor person. Everybody knows I'm a beer man. I don't know. There was like 6-7 bottles of liquor out there. So
there was one even looked like a football.
Yes, that was vodka. I bought that one just because.
Listen, I can't like say vodka normally. I got to say it like a Russian.
Vodka. Yeah, but
just because it's fun.
But come by, David will mix you a drink, or he'll tell you, have at it, make your own, put some money in the till. Yeah. That's all he asks is just, hey, help.
And it's not, I can put a tip in and grab the whole bottle.
Yeah, David, don't you?
Yeah, you don't want to try that with David.
But come by the tailgate, say hi. We had Dan Donnelly from Tailgate Connect.
I missed him this week.
472 Californications with him.
There was a bunch.
There was a bunch of Californians with him. But they are a hoot. They're all friendly. A senior OU of KC, I think. Anyway, from Kansas City. You know him. He's always in the sombrero.
Man, I bet he was hot.
Oh, I bet he was too. But he wears that stuff. He has the same outfit except it's Steelers. So, and of course, Mr. OU Antonio Rickard always comes by and makes a scene. And what's the word I'm looking for? Makes a appearance. Makes an appearance and takes pictures with everybody. I'm trying to think. We had people from all over swing by. Again this week. So
you know what? I'm proud to say that we greeted a lot of Nebraska fans.
Yeah.
And we did it out of mutual blue-blooded respect.
I miss that rivalry. You know, we said it. Me and Rob just finished up at the Coach's Show. Like we had something to do with what was going on at the Coach's Show at Rudy's Barbecue. But said something to Rob. I said, you know, the coolest thing was sitting there when they lined up seeing Nebraska in that Nebraska bright red and red stripes and the crimson Sooners.
Scarlet.
It was like, man, this is football.
Yep. It's a great
that.
Rivalry, and I'm glad we got to play it. And I'm looking forward to going to Lincoln next year, Terry.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Got to find me some corn cobs for the forearms.
But what happened during the game, Rob? Oklahoma wins the game 23-16. Everybody was expecting a blowout.
Well, God, I don't know. We don't have time. I don't think, Terry. I don't know. I thought they played a fairly decent game. You know, let's just start with Rattler because that's kind of where everybody's is talking right now. He's not far off in my opinion.
Right.
He's just a little bit off. You know, he's throwing behind. He's throwing late. The one sure touchdown, he just put too much air under it, and the defender got there and looked like maybe got a hand on it. I feel like he's just a little bit off, and I think that if he polishes that up, we're gonna see the offense like we were hoping to see the offense.
Right. He's only got a 75% completion rating. Only.
Well, I mean, that's not bad, but yeah. I mean, it's not what we're used to.
Yeah. Well, I think what we're not used to is we're not getting any big plays.
No huge plays, not even in the run game.
Yeah.
You know, there's no 50-yard breaks.
Time of possession was dead even.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're not. Usually Oklahoma's time of possession is just astronomical with everybody because they get the ball 42 times.
Right.
Because we have been scoring so quick. Now we're hammering out, 408 yards. 200 yards rushing, 214, 194 yards rushing, 214 yards passing. But yet we want to complain.
I mean, it's just not what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing that shiny, just big play offense, and we're not really seeing that. It's a lot more methodical, a lot longer drives than we're normally used to. But still, it's a good drive. And we didn't score as much as we'd hoped. But
right. And that's just, I don't think it's bad. It's just different.
Different.
And I think Oklahoma, we as fans included, because coming out of the game, I wasn't happy. I don't believe you were either, because we had a little talk. What the heck's going on? Why people going, okay. And that's why, and folks, that's why we don't do an immediate, people are like, y'all should do an immediate podcast because it would be vulgar filled. We all are expecting something bright and shiny instead of just a freaking win.
Well, the backs average 5 yards a carry. Terry, how can you complain?
For heaven's sake, what is wrong with us? We can't run the ball better than 5 yards a carry?
I know. Well, last year or the year before, whatever.
It was 8.
It was 8 yards a carry.
We're getting worse.
Well, the thing is Eric Gray, he looks so fast and so shifty, and you're like, man, he's right on the precipice of breaking one big, and he just never does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can we not? And then you go and look at ESPN highlights, and you see the kid from Nowhere State, break through the line and run for 80. And I'm like, why can't we do that? We didn't even do it against Western Carolina.
No.
Why can't we do it? So those are the things that that as fans we're just like, what the heck is going on?
I say here's my take now that I've calmed down and looked at it with sober eyes.
Yeah.
Literally sober eyes.
Literally, yeah.
Is it's different. It's not what we want. It's not what we expect. And it's not a Rattler problem. It's an offensive problem.
Well,
I think, because even watching the highlights tonight, even on that flea flicker, the throwback pass we threw, so Rattler had a guy right square in his jaw.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched some of the playbacks and stuff. He's getting throws off right at the last minute in a lot of cases,
and he missed a lot of wide open receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they showed a play tonight, and when they threw a first down to Hazelwood, I think it was Mims I'm in the northeast corner, and they threw it down on like the 20 to Hazelwood to get the first down, and Mims was standing next to me in the end zone with nobody around him, jumping up and down. I mean,
well, he probably thought you were a defender.
I mean, he broke. I mean, Hazelwood broke out. He broke up. I know Rattler had to see him.
Well, early in the game, Terry threw one into triple coverage. Nobody caught it, but I don't know who the receiver was wide open for the touchdown, and he just didn't see it. Didn't see it at all. So,
and maybe it's early. Early game, Spencer's just not good in the early games because last year he turned it up after Texas.
He certainly did. But something you can say right now, and I think with pretty much all certainty, right now he is not on the Heisman podium.
No, and honestly, I hope he never does get on the Heisman podium. I just want a quarterback to play quarterback and win games.
Well, honestly, Terry, if he just plays like he did last year, he's going to make the podium. And he may not win it, but that's going to be good enough for him to get there.
I just want a national title.
Oh, I do too.
Is that so much to ask?
Well,
I don't want any more Heismans. Yeah, I know it's great for recruiting, blah, 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 blah. So it's not as good as winning.
Not as good as the Sandy Trophy. That's right. That's right.
That being said, we must talk about Big Bob and the King Berry on the Big Noon Show.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. He is, I guarantee you, hated in Texas right now. Guarantee you.
Yeah. And I love after he did the Boomer Sooner, Texas, like, yeah, that's how we do it here. That's how it's going to. It's like, oh, my God.
I bet the people all over Texas were rolling their eyes. Because, they were watching. That was a national broadcast, right?
Yeah. It was the Big Noon, kickoff show. Fox Sports answered to game day, and Big Bob's on it, and they did a great job. And then old Barry comes walking out carrying a shotgun, and
man, Barry is the king still, and they don't make him like that anymore.
And as sharp as a tack.
I
love what he told Reggie Bush. You wouldn't have played for me. You couldn't block. And what was cool is those players, him and Leinert and those guys, they were eating it up because they know they're standing there with two legends.
Right.
Two coaches who knew what they were doing, and they just ate it up and laughed and joked. But, a lot of guys have been like, wait, I could have blocked. I could have blocked. No, I'd have taught you to block, or you'd have been on the sideline. I mean, just those two guys, and talking about the tradition of not just the OU Nebraska game, but just the traditions of Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I think is important to get out there to people and to recruit, to see that, this just isn't another college. This is a place with rich history, rich tradition, and rich expectation, and huge expectations.
Oh, for sure. One of the things I like most about Barry, 0 F's given.
Yeah.
Right?
Care less.
And it's been like that since he was standing on the sidelines with a Beat Texas hat on.
Yeah, smoking a cigarette.
0 F's given. Sorry, I had to censor myself there because I don't like that word.
Yeah.
0 F's given. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And even when he coached with the Cowboys, when he was at the Pro Bowl eating hot dogs on the sidelines, everybody made a big deal of that. He was like, it's the Pro Bowl. We're not trying to win. I'm eating a hot dog.
Hey, if you're hungry.
And they got hot dogs, biggest play of the game. Well, I think there were 3 big plays.
Wait, are we done talking about Barry and Bob?
Well, what else you want to talk about?
Well, we seen Bob 2 weeks ago at the coach's show.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Printed out, or Amy printed out for me, the picture that we took at the Rose Bowl when Bob stepped in. And now he wasn't, he's signing stuff. And so I was kind of in line. And then when they put that picture down in front of him, he looks down at that picture and he immediately recognized it. He looked over at me and he goes, hey, I stepped into I photobombed y'all's picture. I remember this. I started laughing. I was like, yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir.
No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I don't want to. Anyway, when we ran into him at Louis.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. But he's very, very, you remember how when we'd see Barry out back in the day, he would always talk to us.
Yeah.
He never would, hey, how you guys doing? We seen him on the golf course that one time, and you hit him straight. I'm like, no, sir, coach. He's like, neither am I. So, and Bob's the same way.
Yeah.
You see him out, he's just, I don't encourage anybody to, kind of attack him at his dinner table or anything, but
if you acknowledge him, he acknowledges you back, or sometimes even before you acknowledge him.
Absolutely, great guy.
How y'all doing?
Oh, hey, that's pretty good, Terry.
Thank you.
Pretty good. I'm gonna give you an A for effort for sure.
Thank you. But as far as let's see the game.
Back to the game. Yeah.
Back to the game. Let's see. Where's the box
How about
score?
Perrion Winfrey with half a sack?
Half a sack.
Is he getting double teamed all day?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you double team him?
Oh, well, probably not. I'd run from him, but that is a big, strong dude.
Spencer Rattler was 24-34 for 214 yards, 6.3 yard average, 79.1 QBR. So
got outplayed by average at best.
Adrian Martinez, 19 of 20, but still 6.3. He averaged 11.6. Eric Gray averaged 5.6 yards a carry. Brooks 5.4. Spencer even, scrambling 5.8 for a team total of 5.5 yards per carry. Our passing is down probably 4 or 5 yards a game, I think. But again, a lot of that average was made up in 3 or 4 big plays that Oklahoma would have. And that's just we just haven't had them yet.
Didn't last year we have several games where we had 300 yards rushing and 300 yards passing?
Yeah. I think we're going to see it. I'm having, but it's nice, Rob, to have a defense that can carry you when your offense is firing on 5 cylinders, not 6.
Yeah. Well, there was a time there, though, Terry, that I was like, here we go, taking another average at best quarterback and making him look like an all-pro.
Yeah.
I was worried. But you know what? They stiffened up. I still got to feel like, and maybe this is the homer in me, I still kind of feel like that we're running a bunch of average, vanilla-looking sets.
So?
Just so that I want to say just so that Texas can't see what we're doing or anybody else can. And they're there if we need them.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that he ever said, hey, it's time to pull the stops out so we can make sure we win this game.
Yeah.
Because I really never felt like Nebraska was going to beat us. Did you?
No. You got frustrated and nervous kind of towards the end as, here we go.
Well, I just didn't like what I was seeing, but I still didn't feel like Nebraska was going to come back and win that game.
Yeah. Now, here's something that I have heard, and I don't know if I believe it, but there is talk out there that this isn't the Oklahoma offense, and there's a reason for it.
Oh, well, let's hear that.
It's Kansas State.
Kansas State.
They're not going to pull out any of the stops until K-State.
Okay. Yeah, well, we certainly don't want to lose that again.
And now, again, because Lincoln is 0-2, against them or against their new coach. And the reason why is when they play, and I heard Teddy talk about this, Teddy Lehman, when they have played Oklahoma the last 2 times, everything they did, Oklahoma had never seen. So the thought is we're running pretty vanilla because we're not doing – there's plays, Rob, that we have ran for years since Lincoln has been there that I have not seen. I don't know what it's called, but it's where Austin Stogner, me, you, or the dude in the wheelchair up in the stands cuts across the middle and is wide open. And Teddy Lehman actually calls it the undefendable play. That, you know, you and I talked to him one day at the coach's show afterward because he said it to Lincoln. He called it the undefendable play. And it's where everybody's basically going to the right, and usually the H-back breaks out, you know, towards a corner route, boom, and he's all by himself.
Yeah.
And Teddy said the way it is ran, the way they disguise it, everything that's done, you cannot defend it. That guy is going to come open every time, just like he always said. We haven't seen that play this year, and I've been wondering why. Well, the word is or the thought is that Oklahoma is running vanilla enough to, you know, yeah, we want big plays and and expecting big plays, but they're not throwing everything out there because basically they're not wanting to show their hand to like Kansas State, and maybe to give Kansas State a little bit taste of their own medicine of going, okay, you can do it, we can do it too. We're going to come out here with we're going to turn our offense on October 2nd.
Well, here's the thing, Terry. I mean, I like that sentiment, but if we play this week like we played last week, West Virginia's going to beat us.
Yeah, West Virginia is good.
There's no joke.
No doubt about it.
No joke. And we can't afford to play vanilla against a team that could beat us.
Yeah.
And
I don't know that we're going to play vanilla this week, but because it is conference play, but I think Lincoln is playing it close to the hip. You know, also not opening it up because it is a new line. You know, they're still trying to find that mix, but I think maybe we're going to see a whole different offensive.
Well, I hope so. And I got to be honest with you, in the game, there was one play there that we ran one time, pass to Jeremiah Hall, you know, where we it's that play action. Jeremiah Hall just sneaks out and hits that corner of the end zone. And we hit,
yeah.
And that's the only time we saw that play. And I'm like, he was wide open, and we never ran that play again or anything similar to that play again.
Yeah.
Okay, Lincoln's definitely running a vanilla. Like he busted that out because he wanted to score.
Yeah, he wanted to score.
But then he went back into the shell, I think.
There are plays in Lincoln's arsenal. Everybody knows it. That just like that one and just like the one I was talking about, the undefendable one, that are undefendable. Teams will tell you. I mean,
it's like
Nick Saban said it when we play, even when, you know, Alabama kicked our tail down there and we made the comeback. He was like, that is the most difficult offense to defend I've ever played against.
It's like Mr. Coach Klein's green notebook from the water boy.
Yeah.
Right?
And even, he's with the Carolina Panthers now. The Florida coach, Ohio State. Everybody's screaming at their podcast right now.
Wait, who are we talking about?
The coach? Yeah, Ohio State coach. We beat him.
Urban Meyer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Said one time when he was talking about who he was doing Big Noon is like Lincoln Riley's got plays in his arsenal that are just ridiculous.
Yeah, people are saying that people are catching on to it, though.
I don't think they are. I think there are still those plays that are ridiculous. He just hasn't ran them this year.
He hasn't shown them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
what they're catching on to is a bunch of vanilla stuff that we're running to
yeah.
We're going to, obviously after the West Virginia game, we're going to have to readdress this and say, okay, we were right. Look at this play and that play, and we beat them 55-12.
He brought up a great fact. We're running with 2 running backs that are brand new. Kennedy Brooks hasn't played in a year. That's right.
He didn't play at all last year.
And so it's basically new. So they're still getting their wheels under them. So
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Wow, good.
Anyway,
Your face was priceless right there. I gotta be honest with you.
I was just thinking, you know what that sounds like, don't you, Rob?
No, what did it sound like?
It sounded like you were taking a hit off a
Oh.
doobie. Listening to some Doobie Brothers.
I
is
got
what it
random
sounded
drug testing. I can't be doing that stuff.
like. So, but I think there's some stuff out there in Lincoln's, and I believe it. I believe it's still in the hip pocket that Lincoln has those plays, and he's just not running them right now.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our only hope, right?
Yeah.
It's like Princess Leia said, your only hope, right?
I don't know. I don't know those movies as well as you do.
Yeah.
You know,
It's because you hate Star Wars. I'm pretty sure that makes you a communist as well.
I like Star Wars. I don't.
It's kind of like you hate Baker.
I can't quote Star Wars.
Oh,
You know.
I can't.
I know.
In fact, I can start at the beginning and quote it all the way through.
But the West Virginia Mountaineers lost to Maryland.
Yeah, but I think Maryland might be decent team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch the game. I just seen the highlights, and they look decent. I mean, you know.
They beat LIU. I don't even know who that is, 66-0, and then knocked off number 15 Virginia Tech in a game was really closer, I guess, than
Not as close,
right? That VT came roaring
Scored
back towards the end, and made it a little bit closer than what it is. I watched a little bit of that game. They look pretty good, other than the fact that they are highlighter yellow.
Well, yeah, that's pretty ugly.
Yeah,
they're not nearly as big as Nebraska. Like, they're a lot smaller dudes. So hopefully we can. I think we could probably manhandle them a little bit. I hope we can open up, big rip runs down the middle and off tackle maybe, and that's going to open up Rattler to throw deep to Marvin Mims, who's not caught anything hardly at all this year.
Yeah,
Stogner has not been involved that much. I mean, but Mario Williams is obviously the one that we've got to get the ball in his hands. You can just see, right? Yeah. Every time he catches the ball, I'm just like, oh, this is the one. This is the one.
Yep.
So,
offensively, they got a pretty good running back, Letty Brown.
He's the number one rusher in Big 12 right now, I think.
I believe so. 265 yards so far, 5.2 yard per carry average. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
They're solid. I mean, we can't play the game we just played or any of the two previous and beat them, I don't think. I mean, like I say, I think we can have our way with them a little bit, but they're not going to lay down like nobody is laying down for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We're still the big ticket item when you come to Norman or when we come to your place. We are still probably the biggest game that any of those teams are going to play. Tulane played a pretty good game this week, didn't they?
No, they got hammered this week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, last week they played a pretty good game. They got slapped around by nobody this week.
But still, when OU comes, I mean, it's probably the biggest game on your schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And that includes
Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it includes the Big 12. It's everybody's got this game highlighted on their Big 12 calendar.
You know what that makes me want to bring up? The trash talking coming out of the SEC. Have you been seeing any of that?
I don't pay attention to them morons.
Because Arkansas hammered Texas, and so they were like, Arkansas is a bottom dweller here in the SEC, and
so is and Texas is the bottom dweller in the Big 12.
Yeah, pretty much they are. Yeah.
So, what's your point, SEC?
Well, I mean, they're like, you're not playing games like you'll play here. Really? Well, we kicked the snot out of one of your best teams last year.
Well, and I liked what who's the guy that was there, or was it who co-hosted with Toby tonight? Just went blank.
Curtis Lofton.
It was either Curtis Lofton,
I seen it, and I plucked it right out of the air,
or it was maybe it was Plank said it today. So guess what, folks? We're fixing to go into the SEC. Get used to games like this.
Oh yeah.
That's how Oklahoma's going to be winning games.
There's no doubt that the talent is better there.
Yeah,
no doubt.
That when we get into the SEC, there's not going to be playing Kansas running up. It was Ole Miss that beat
Tulane. Yeah, smoked them too.
Yeah,
smoked them. But you know what? I think Ole Miss is pretty solid this year.
But I mean, get used to these games. We're not going to be in the Big 12 anymore playing.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we'll go fist to fist with anybody.
Yeah, go out there. Like my dad used to say, we don't like it. It's not pretty. It's not the thing you write home about. But all you got to do is win every game by 1 point. That's it.
And I'll tell you this, Terry, there is a thing playing down to the talent that you're up against. If we're playing a big game like a couple of years ago when we went to Ohio State, I don't think we were as good as they were.
No.
Went in there and smoked them, didn't we? We played up. We played hard. And when they came here, they beat us because they played up.
Yeah.
So,
it's all perception. I mean, again, all we got to do is win every game. We don't have to win every game by 80.
But I'm realistic. We're not going to go into the SEC and win every game.
No,
we're not.
No,
but we're gonna be there. I mean, we're gonna be better than Arkansas.
But
Vanderbilt.
Everybody keeps sitting here going, we can't get in. We can't get into the playoffs playing like this. Yeah, we can. All we got to do is win every game.
Yeah, we can.
Get into the playoffs, and then all you got to do is win those 2 games.
Well, if you recall the 2000 season, we barely beat A&M that year.
Oh, yeah.
We barely beat Oklahoma State.
And, Toby brought it up on his radio show this morning. They looked terrible the first 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
They looked terrible in the first quarter of Nebraska.
We almost lost to Tulsa? No. Who was the we almost lost to first game?
Yeah, it was I can't remember, but yeah, it was terrible. And then remember, we were down 21-0 against Nebraska.
14.
14.
14, yeah.
21-14 doesn't matter. We were down. We were getting hammered.
Well, because we won 34 to 14. 14. So I can't remember now.
You remember watching that game? It was like, we're done. I mean,
I was scared. Yeah,
yeah.
We got down 14-0. I was like, oh well,
Yeah, we were. Caleb was wrestling back then, and we were at a wrestling tournament in Shawnee, and they had a TV set up out in the lobby, and I walked away from it.
You know where I was?
And everybody wasn't watching. All of a sudden, the guy on the that was calling out people, so and so, if you were late to your mat. Oklahoma has tied the game 14-14, and then everybody went back down there. And then throughout the day, Oklahoma is now leading and done it.
Can we postpone this for just like 2 hours so we can all just go down and watch the game? All right, we'll pick up.
But you don't have to win pretty. You just got to win.
Just win, baby.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I was in the stands. Just FYI.
Yeah. and I think that's. Myself and other Oklahoma fans, you want to beat everybody. You want to hang half 100 on everybody. That's what Lincoln's been doing, is hanging half 100 everybody. But guess what? He had to hang half 100 on everybody.
Yeah, he did.
If he didn't,
we weren't going to
win. We were going to get beat. Because somebody, our defense was going to give up 49.
Yeah, and we were going to have wide open receivers all over the field.
He had to win every game. He had to score 50. He doesn't have to now.
So you think we're going to get better?
I do.
Or are we going to see more of the same?
Every team that Lincoln has had at Oklahoma has gotten better and better and better as the year goes on.
I would agree with that.
They also throw out an egg every year. Lincoln has got to get past that. They can't throw out an egg.
Hopefully those first 3 games were the eggs.
Exactly.
And everything else is polished.
Yeah. Because even the Rose Bowl year, we just got better and better and better. I still think we were the best team in the country that year. We were the best offense. Our defense was bad, but we were the best team. I had no doubt we were going to win that game, and I thought we're going to play Alabama. We're going to beat them, and I think we would have. But squib kick.
Way to bring that up.
Squib kick,
Terry.
But So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Lincoln pulls out of the old holster this weekend.
Well, you and I both, as fans, hope that we just start seeing a semblance of the high ranking that we have right now. Because right now, if you ask me after our first 3 games, should we be in the top 10, I would be questionable about that.
Yeah. The greatest defensive play in the history of football.
It certainly was the prettiest, wasn't it?
DJ Graham's interception. People are saying it. It's the best defensive play in the history of football
that they've ever seen.
I mean,
it was oh my gosh,
because he caught that ball awkwardly going to his right,
upside down,
off
the ground.
Again, he was jumping to his right, caught it with his. He was jumping to his right, but he had his back, so it would have been his left. Caught it with his right hand, spun in the air, rolled it over, and curled it in with one hand.
Yeah, it was
and you can
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And you could buy the shirt for $30. Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Probably the best defense play I ever seen. I mean, I thought the Roy Williams play to tip to Lehman for the touchdown, they're right neck and neck because they're great, but that's maybe the best catch I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. And I love what Lincoln said. He went over to say, can I, contest my own interception?
Hilarious. It really would have been better for the team had he not caught it. But you can't tell him not to catch that ball.
And people have said, he was selfish. He should have batted it down. He couldn't bat it down.
No.
Guess what? There was a guy behind him, not the guy that was against him. There was a guy open in the end zone behind him.
Right. If anything, he'd have tipped it straight up in the air
to him.
To that guy.
Right.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he wasn't wide open, but our defender come off when the ball came. And if he'd have tipped it in the air, it'd have been caught for a touchdown.
But for him, as a kid, as a player, you don't tell that kid. You tell him to go out and make plays, and that's what he did.
Yeah. I guarantee you they didn't walk over at the sideline and go, you intercepted it on the 2-yard line when it was 4th down on the 23.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Yeah, they're not telling him that.
No.
They're not telling him that. When they looked at the play, that was the only play he had on that ball. He couldn't slap it down. If he tips it up, it's going to be a catch
probably
for Nebraska.
I mean, at least there's a chance of that happening.
Plus he's been on ESPN 7,200 times already.
Well, if you have that play to do over 100 times you catch that ball.
Yeah.
Just the way he caught it.
You like my little trivia question I gave you today? Better catch, DJ Graham's or CD Lamb's?
Oh, yeah, that wasn't fair at all.
CD's catch was not a catch. He landed out of bounds.
He caught it, though.
No, it wasn't a catch.
He caught it.
Well, I mean, Lincoln could have caught it. It still wouldn't have been a catch.
He caught it, though. Terry.
It goes in
pirate hooker. He caught the ball.
It goes in the record books as incomplete.
Yeah, but he caught it.
But it was incomplete.
Yeah, but he caught it.
But it was incomplete.
Yeah, but he caught it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, but let's circle back to he caught it.
Yeah. Out of bounds.
Okay, so
I could catch a ball out of bounds.
Let's just compromise here and say he caught it.
Yeah, he did, out of bounds.
Yeah, but he caught it.
So it was incomplete.
Yeah, but
this is like who's on first, isn't it? He caught it, but it was out of bounds, so it was incomplete.
Okay. All right.
Man, them some ugly socks, Rob.
Thank you.
Ooh, Calvin Klein. You got the matching undies with it?
I do. I had to write the Calvin Klein on the underwear, though.
You spelled it with a K.
And the K was backwards.
Coach Klein. You put Coach Klein.
Coach Klein underwear.
Rob was Mr. Coach Klein.
Hey, Mama told me not to get a tattoo. But Mama don't know.
Oh, anyway. I want to look on Twitter, see what's happening on Twitter real quick. I did tweet Plank the other day our theory of why everyone was upset with the Nebraska win. Number one, it was an 11 a.m. kickoff, and that always makes us cranky. Number two,
I was cranky.
friggin' hot.
Now it was hot. Big Rob melted in the stands.
And I think you said after the game is like, we're not in hell, but we're next door. I think when it's something like that, you said.
What? Oh, yeah, we weren't in hell, but we were just a step above it.
Yeah.
Literally had to get a spatula to get up off the seats.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Long lines for water, except in my line.
And mine too.
And I did try the free water because I was tired of dishing out, $6 a bottle.
Yeah.
And the free water was like 92 degrees. It was.
Did you take a bath? Because I know that probably was getting close to once a week.
I took like a day. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so the free water was tepid.
You couldn't go stand in line for the ice then. Huh? I got the free water, but I didn't stand in line to get ice.
And it just made all of us Sooner fans cranky, and we would have been upset with a 90-point victory. It's justice theory, though, Chris Plank. We are not scientists.
Right.
So, but it was. I really do. I think that has a lot to do with the fan reaction. I mean, it was a miserable day to watch football in the stands, in my opinion. In
the stands, okay. Yeah.
If I was watching a high school game where you respect, but you can't really get spread out. I mean, it was, you come out of the tunnels, it was like, oh my God.
Right. But you know what? Hats off to the Sooner fans. Everybody stayed.
Stayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all the Nebraska fans stayed. That's for sure.
Yeah. I kept hearing, go Big Red. And, let's see what else. Let's see what's happening.
How about Okie State just barely squeezing by Boise
on Smurf turf?
Smurf turf.
God, I can't watch a game on playing.
It's a little difficult.
Yeah, it's
a little difficult.
I wonder if it's true that ducks crash into that.
Well, here's the thing: it's either the blue field or those ugly orange uniforms. So I mean, I'm thinking the blue is a little bit more pleasant to the eye, but
is there a football game tonight?
Not that I know of, but I could be wrong.
No, somebody put on here. It was it says Lambeau flyover last night. It says somebody put, I wish I was there. Just flipping through Twitter real quick. There's nothing really there. Nothing really going on.
What about the fans that did kind of lose their mind about concessions? Did you see it went all the way up to the top?
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. I don't know. I mean, to me, everybody's complaining about that. There's always lines at the concession stand. Yeah. I don't know that they were any longer.
Some people said they had to wait. They were in line a whole quarter of football.
Yeah.
That's bad.
If we're paying that much, Josie said, we don't have any workers, just like everybody else in the world. It's a part-time seasonal job.
Well, and, most of you folks that are listening probably know that I did work there in concessions. In fact, if you ate it or drank it, I bought it.
Yeah.
And my team dispersed it. Here's the thing. They don't have enough room in the stadium in those stands to feed everybody. So after about 20 minutes after the gates are open, they got to start running food.
Yeah.
And people were just buying it so quick they could not get it there fast enough.
Yeah.
And it's just like the water problems.
Yeah.
They've only got so much area that they can cool water down.
Yeah.
And once they go through with that, it's just trying to get it out there as fast as they can.
And like you said, it's an old stadium.
It's old.
It's old.
It was not built with concessions in mind.
Yeah.
But they're doing the best that they can. I mean, you know.
And, really the only thing I bought was water. I bought a couple of hot dogs, but, my line's not long, and I'm not going to say where my line's at. So, don't tell people where my line's at, Rob.
I will not tell, Terry. I will not tell.
But, I never stand in line. I just go up and get me a couple bottles of water.
And there's nobody in your line, like nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
Because I came down there last week, remember? Yeah. Or no, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, guy standing over there scratching his head the whole time. Yep. So, but here's my thing, and this is just a thought, Rob. Why is the University of Oklahoma, and what's the name of the company?
that runs the
Levy.
concessions. Yeah,
Levy.
Levi.
Levi. Why are they charging us for bottled water? Because I go out to concerts here at Riverwind Casino and other places in the summertime, and they have these giant troughs all over that parking lot with, I'm going to say 10 to 15,000 people there, roughly. The last one I went to, it was packed. It was elbow to elbow everywhere you went. You just walk over and grab you a bottle of water out of that ice bucket. Why isn't that a thing, do you think, at OU?
I couldn't answer that, but I mean,
other than money,
they're not going to give stuff away for free. I'm just telling you, that ain't going to happen. Or at least I don't think. I'd be a monkey's uncle if they did.
Yeah, unlike a lot of the comedians, I think Ron White did it and talked about it, and I can see his face. I can't think of his name now. But paying 99 cents for something you can go get out of a water hose.
99 cents.
Yeah, well, that was back then, but now it's like $1.89, and at the football games, it's the price of a 6-pack of beer. It's more expensive. A bottle of water is more expensive than a 6-pack of beer outside of it.
Well, I can tell you how they tried to alleviate the problem is they tried to open up portables everywhere.
Yeah.
So that if you were just getting water, then you could just go to that portable and grab one. But they just don't have the people to run those places anymore. So they couldn't open them. If you ain't got nobody to man it, nobody can be there. I mean, they can't open it. So I know that for a fact.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, you go to an area, I don't know, total, it's 100 yards on the field, probably 200 yards total wide, and 150, 200 yards wide. When you stuff 90 people into a one city block, 90,000 people into one city block area, you expect everything to run fast? I don't think so.
No, but I will agree that it is a problem. You got 120 in the stands. Those people have got to have access to water, at the very least water.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is, but I know that they better figure something out.
Yeah.
Because the fans ain't having it.
Yeah, but again, it was a win. Oklahoma is 3-0, and we got West Virginia coming up. Thoughts on the game? Going to win it, Rob? Going to be close? Going to blow them out?
We're going to win. We're going to get things turned around. We might even see, we might even see some things that make us happy, because we haven't seen that yet, right? I mean,
so
outside of DJ Graham's catch,
out on the field,
huh?
They're going to have strippers out on the field.
I don't know about that, Terry.
That'd make you happy, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, I can't say that it would make me unhappy, but I mean, to date, from the first 3 games, it has, outside of DJ Graham's amazing catch, has anything you saw made you happy?
No,
not really.
Nothing has excited me like that.
Nothing's been like, oh my God, there we are. Well, hopefully, I think we're gonna. I hope
you believe
we're gonna see that this game, because really we didn't see any blitz packages, or not many, in the last 3 games.
So we're going to be odd this game. We're going to have some, oh my God, there it is.
Well, really, we've been relying on our front 4, or sometimes even just the front 3 to get a pass rush. And we really haven't blitzed all that much.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see an uptick in blitzing, which will hopefully create some turnovers. Not that we haven't been getting turnovers, but I mean,
3 per game.
Something's got to change.
Yeah.
So I would expect us to do some blitzing, or maybe that's just the fan in me that wants to see that. And then I think we will also see more open playbook. Now, if we get a quick lead, I think he goes right back into the vanilla packages. Yeah. Don't you?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what he is, who he is.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the same thing. I think we're going to see it open up a little bit more. Let's face it. Spencer Rattler's quarterback. He's not going to be sat on the bench unless he just falls apart, and he hasn't fallen apart. He just hasn't done what the fans want him to do.
Right.
I don't know what Lincoln wants him to do. I'm assuming it's what he's doing because I do believe Lincoln will pull him because Lincoln's done it before.
He's done it before. Yeah, I think he will do it again if he has to.
Yeah. And I've said it before. I've heard a couple of guys on the radio say it too, is if he gets pulled and Caleb Williams gets put out there, he's done. Caleb Williams will not come out of the game.
You're probably right.
Because that boy will run into. He's a better runner. There's a whole different aspect of.
I hear he's a better leader.
So, if he gets benched to sit down and calm down, it's not Tanner Mordecai who's lighting it up down at SMU,
right?
But it's not Tanner Mordecai coming in and running, 6 or 7 plays to make him, oof,
I better get my stuff together.
Yeah, Caleb Williams is going to go out there and go score. And then Lincoln's going to go, sheesh.
What were we thinking here? you might be right, Terry, because Caleb Williams, I think, is a real deal.
I heard Teddy talking about this yesterday. Teddy Lehman talking about it. He goes, could you imagine if Lincoln Riley benches
Heisman candidate?
The beginning of the year Heisman favorite if he gets benched? Because Teddy basically said the same thing. If he gets benched, if he gets pulled, he ain't coming back in. That kid, he tells you everything I've heard, that kid is it.
Well, he ain't the Heisman favorite anymore.
Yeah, no.
So I think he might be on a short leash. Don't get me wrong. I think he's probably better, or he wouldn't be the starter. Yeah. Now, I did have some, and this is just me. I didn't hear this anywhere. I feel like that Spencer was out there to get stats because he was the Heisman front runner. Now that he's not, man, if you ain't performing, it's next man up here at Oklahoma, bro.
Now it's, hey, let's not talk about Heisman, coaches talking to him. Let's not talk about Heisman, Spencer. Let's talk about winning games and keeping your job.
Yeah, and I hope that's a conversation that's going on in that quarterback room. Hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
You need to quit thinking about the Heisman because you ain't in it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't in that stuff right now, bro.
Yeah.
You got to go out and play.
You got to go out. Your team needs you to go out and win.
That's right.
Anyway, anything else, Rob?
Well, a lot of his passes were behind the receiver. The receiver had to stop his route, catch the ball, and that's why they're getting tackled. There's no yak hardly at all. Yeah. So no yards after catch. And it's because I don't think the passes are great. Now, there were some great passes, like he was rolling and scrambling there for just a little bit, and he had receivers coming back to him, and I think he made some fantastic passes in that regard.
Yeah.
But he also made some pretty bad ones. So that was it for me.
Yep, I'm good too then.
All right.
Well, that's podcast, guys. Make sure and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Mountaineers. Beat the Mountaineers.
Beat the Mountaineers.
Boomer up.
Sooner, Terry.